Alright, today I'm going to make my predictions for this Wednesday's night All-Star race at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But before I go any further, I want to add that I am doing a Pick 5 contest for this Wednesday's night's All-Star race. And for many of you who don't know how a Pick 5 contest works, well, it's simple. All you got to do is type in the comment section down below who you think is going to finish inside the top 5. If you get 5 for 5 correct, you get an autographed hero card. If you get 4 for 5 correct, you get an unsigned hero card, and those are all of your choice. But before I get into the race picks, I want to give a special shout out to Mr.Barry Griggs. He's been giving my dad and my friend and my dad's friend the hookup the last couple months. Earlier this year, he gave my dad and I and his friend and my friend some hot passes for the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. But this pandemic happened, and it moved the race to June. And then June finally rolled around, and NASCAR and Atlanta Motor Speedway executives decided fans weren't going to be there. And there goes that. It was a tough pill to swallow. So there you go. The hot passes didn't come through. But you know what? Mr. Barry Griggs hooked us up with some Zoom Q&As with NASCAR Xfinity Series driver Chase Briscoe and Mr. Doug Yates. I had one. I joined into one before the Darlington race, actually. And now I'm going to be able to get on one right before the Kansas race. So that's awesome. You might see some footage here on this channel. Just stay tuned. But I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Barry Griggs. And let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
The last 5 All-Star race winners has been pretty much back and forth with manufacturers. Last year, the Chevy won. In 2018, a Ford. 2017, a Toyota. 2016, a Ford. And 2015, a Toyota. About last year, though, starting off with that, Kyle Larson was in the Open. He won the Open. He did not get in by winning a segment. He went in because he had a race to the end. So that's how he got in. And once he got in, he was actually mediocre the whole race. And towards the end of the race, that's when he finally got up to the top 3, top 2, and finally got the lead from Kevin Harvick, and he won $1 million. And in 2018, he saw the 4-car of Kevin Harvick get the job done and bring home $1 million. In 2017, you saw the 18-car of Kyle Busch get the job done on a late race restart where he passed Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski as soon as they crossed the start-finish line on a restart. It was one of the most exciting restarts you could ever see in an All-Star race. But Busch won that race. And in 2016, you saw the 22-car of Joey Logano get the job done. If Kyle Larson were not to hit the wall that race, Kyle Larson could have very well won $1 million, and Joey Logano wouldn't. Larson hit the wall, though, and that's what ruined his chances, and Logano won it. And in 2015, Denny Hamlin got the job done and won himself $1 million. In 2015, that was Hamlin's comeback year, I guess you can say, coming off a terrible 2013 and 14 season. There goes that, though. But those are your last 5 winners: 42, 4, 18, 22, and 11. But let's get into my top 5. All right, here, my top 5 is right there. But I got finishing first is the 1-car of Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch has been steadily under the radar this year, I guess you can say. He's been running good recently, but no one's been talking about it. Coming off a top 10 at Kentucky. I just think some momentum carries over and he wins Bristol and wins $1 million at the same time. It cannot get much better than that. And second place is going to be his brother, Kyle Busch. Kyle has been having a rough year. I'm not going to lie here. Has yet to win a single stage in a race. It's just crazy. And the amount of laps he's led is not that much. And it's just a bad year for Kyle Busch. But you know what, though? I look at this as a Kevin Harvick year in 2017. He's going to get things turned around here sooner or later. And why not get it turned around this Wednesday night at Bristol, where he's been good at in the past, if not one of the best drivers to even race at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But I got him finishing second. But in third place, I got the 2-car Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski also has been under the radar this year. He's actually won a couple of races. He started off winning the Coca-Cola 600, and he won a couple others. A Bristol race. It was just those races, though, he was under the radar until the later stages, and yeah. Keselowski, though, I got him finishing third. But finishing fourth is going to be the 9 of Chase Elliott. Elliott has been on a downfall, I guess you can say, the last month of racing. Ever since he won the race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, which was on a Wednesday night, or Thursday night, I guess you can add, he's been pretty much irrelevant since. But you know what? I think he turns it around this week at Bristol. I know he was running up front in the spring Bristol race, but he did not get to finish inside the top 10. So I really can't say he was even competitive that race, because he was competitive by all means, but he was not there to contend for the win at the end because he took himself out of contention. But finishing fifth, I got the 22 car of Joey Logano. Joey Logano has been, I guess you can say, on a rough stretch, similar to Chase Elliott, but instead of having it in May, Logano last win came all the way in March, and now he's at Phoenix, and since then he's been pretty much irrelevant. Either had an issue on pit road or just not the right setup. Practice has been an issue, which I think is good. Is his biggest issue and Kyle Busch's, but you get the point though. He's coming off a 15th place finish at Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. He's not in a great running, I guess you can say, but you know what? I think he's going to get things turned around here at Bristol. But there's my top five. Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and Joey Logano. But my dark horse is going to be right here. And it's the 42 of Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth is coming off a terrible Kentucky race. He spun out 2 different occasions. But the week before, though, at Indianapolis, he was in contention for the win. It was 10 to go. Denny Hamlin was in the mix, but you know what? He blew a tire. So it moved up everybody one position. Kenseth was running third at the time. Got the second on the restart. I thought he was going to actually win the race. And he did not, though, but he finished second. Got some valuable points there. But you know what? I think he's going to have a good run here at Bristol and maybe bring some momentum over to Texas. And then after that, you got New Hampshire. You got a couple good tracks for Kenseth coming up. But we'll see how things go there. But he's my dark horse. And many of y'all might be wondering, why isn't there no weather for the race? Well, it's because the last so many times I've been doing that, it's actually been raining at the track, so I'm not going to do it. And just going to leave it as it is. And let's hope rain does not bother the Cup Series again for the rest of this year or forever. It's been annoying, and I just can't stand it. But everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe, and shout out to Mr. Barry Griggs for all he has done in the last couple months.